You don't guard a prison. You guard a rope. A wet line across a dock that decides who is clean and who is danger. And the first thing you learn is simple. Quarantine isn't mercy. It's a business plan. When a ship arrives sick, nobody asks, how do we save them? They ask, how long can we charge them before they crack? Rule 1. Nobody crosses without a mark. Rule 2. No mark is free. Rule 3. If you hesitate, you become the problem. Tonight, the fog is thick. Harbor lamps are low. The water looks like oil. A bell rings from the quarantine house, not to warn the city, but to announce the show. The ship slides in slow. Sails hanging like wet cloth. Lantern smoke coughs. Crew stays quiet. And you stand at the line with a ledger you're not allowed to read. A stamp you're not allowed to refuse. And a supervisor who smiles like he's counting coins in his head. This is your job! Hold the rope. Point the sick back. Point the scared away. Take the hate from both directions. Because the city hates you for keeping them out. And the ship hates you for keeping them in. Stay with me. Halfway through, you'll see what quarantine is really selling. Near the end, you will learn why you can't quit. Even after you see the scam. The first passenger approaches. Shaking hands. Cloth over his mouth. Eyes begging. He holds out a coin pouch like it's peace. Your supervisor doesn't look at the man. He looks at the pouch. Then he looks at you. Not a question. A test. You don't touch the money. You point back. The man's shoulders collapse. Behind him, others lean forward, watching your hands. Because out here, your hands are the headline. Take money. You're corrupt. Refuse money. You're cruel. Look unsure. You're weak. So you become blank. Cold face. Steady posture. No flinch. You signal the clerk. The clerk raises the stamp. And then the first strap. The stamp doesn't come down. The clerk waits. Your supervisor waits. The ship waits. Somebody wants to see who panics first. A woman behind the man starts crying silent, shaking fear. Your supervisor speaks without speaking. A gesture toward the feed box. The clock taps the box. Pay or stay. That's when it hits. The rope isn't a barrier. It's a funnel. And the funnel leads into one place. Their profit. A second bell rings. The city hears safety. The ship hears extortion. You hear. Keep it moving. A crate gets unloaded. Wax seals. Official looking. Urgent. Medicine. Or food. Or just paper with wax that looks important enough to charge extra for. Men in clean coats carry it faster. Like speed proves virtue. A guard whispers to your supervisor. Your supervisor smiles and nods. And the rules change mid-sentence. Now the rope moves forward. Now the line tightens. Now the ship's people are closer. But still not allowed through. That's how control works. It gives you hope. Then sells you the next inch. A boy too young steps to the rope with a letter in his hand. A letter from inside the city. He tries to pass it across like it's harmless. Your supervisor shakes his head. No, not because paper's dangerous. Because paper is leverage. He points to a burned barrel. The boy protests with his eyes. He hesitates. And everyone watches the hesitation like it's a crime. The boy drops the letter into the fire. It curls. It darkens. It disappears. Not for safety, for obedience. If quarantine can burn your words, it can burn your life. Then the ship's captain steps forward. Heavy coat, tired eyes, trying to stay official. He doesn't beg. He negotiates. He offers a donation. Your supervisor pretends to consider it, then points at you again. Another test. Relief. Disgust. Fear. Your face stays blank. Because this isn't about disease. It's about permission. And permission is expensive. A crate slips on the wet dock and hits the wood with a loud crack. Everyone jumps. Noise attracts attention. Attention attracts inspectors. Inspectors attract more fees. A clerk scratches marks on a board, unreadable from where you stand. But you can feel the rhythm. Scare becomes a line. Line becomes a charge. Charge becomes a reason to keep the rope up one more day. Then you notice it. The quarantine house windows are warm. People inside are eating dry. The ship outside is cold. Hungry. Wet. Hate builds from both directions. A stone splashes near your boots, thrown from the ship's side. Not to hit you, to warn you. We can reach you. A shout rises from the city side calling you a monster. Not because you're evil, because you're visible. You don't answer. Because answers become moments. Moments become riots. Riots become excuses. And excuses are profitable. Then the next person at the rope is a merchant. Clean hands. Fine cloak. No cough. He holds a stamped pass like it's a shield. Your supervisor steps aside instantly. The rope dips. The merchant passes through, like the air respects him. The crowd sees it. The ship sees it. And the truth screams without sound. The sickness isn't the divider. Money is... You look at the pass. It's not medicines. It's membership. You watch the clerk stamp another pass fast. Smooth. Practiced. Not a health check. Oh, sir. And the night finally tilts. Twist one. Quarantine isn't here to stop disease. It's here to sell fear. And harvest money from people who can't live. The threat doesn't need to be real every day. It only needs to feel real. Fear keeps people quiet. Fear keeps people paying. They stage the proof. A man in a clean coat walks the line with a lantern. Waves it over faces like light can diagnose guilt. Dips a cloth in vinegar. Lifts it to the air. Then nods like he just saved the city. No one is treated. No one is cleared. If someone begs for real help, they're told to wait. And waiting is where profit grows. But the fee box opens wider. Coins drop faster. Because the ritual isn't medical. It's theatrical. And theater is what makes the price feel reasonable. And if fear starts to fade, they refresh it. They extend the quarantine. They invent new protocols. They add new inspection fees. They keep the ship in the cold until it breaks. Or pays. And you, standing at the rope, are the face of it. You are the uniform that makes extortion look like policy. So you adapt, not by rebelling, by refusing to perform. A sick man returns to the rope. Weaker now, eyes hollow. He holds out 2 coins instead of 1. Your supervisor watches your face again. This time, you don't react at all. No pity, no disgust, no anger. Just a hand signal. Back. The man drops to his knees, exhausted. Not dying. Just emptied. And the crowd surges forward. For 1 second. You think the rope will snap? Then the guards behind you step closer. Not to help the man, To protect the rope. Because the rope is the product. You ring the dock bell once hard. The sound cuts through fog like a blade. The crowd freezes. Not because they respect you. Because they feared what the bell summons. Officials. Punishments. Fees. Your supervisor leans close and smiles like a teacher. Good. A stretcher team comes clean linen. Crisp steps. They lift the sick man and carry him inside. The crowd thinks it's mercy. You see the truth. They collected him. And collection has a price. A clerk nails a new notice to a post. No readable words. Just an official seal. Your supervisor points at the seal. Then points at the fee box again. The rope moves forward, half a step. A gift. A bribe in reverse. Hope sold by the inch. Then the second trap hits. A city guard approaches with a question in his eyes. He shifts his weight toward the ship's side, just a little. A human moment. Your supervisor notices instantly. He snaps his fingers. Two officials pull the guard back like he's contaminated. Shame. Panic. Anger. And your supervisor's lesson is clear. Even sympathy is punishable. Because sympathy is contagious. If sympathy spreads, the rope becomes hard to sell. The fog thickens. A lantern flickers. A small cough echoes from the ship. Not dramatic. Not deadly. Just enough. And that tiny sound resets the dock. People step back. Hands cover mouths. Eyes widen. Fear refills the space like smoke. The system doesn't need a plague. It needs a reminder. Then your supervisor shows you the real chain. He lifts your belt tag. Official. Cold. Heavy. They never announce chains. They just attach them. And you understand what it means without reading a mark. You are registered. You are assigned. You are accountable. Not for safety. For outcomes. If the city gets sick, they'll say you failed. If the ship riots, they'll say you provoked it. If money goes missing, they'll say you took it. And then the final reveal rolls in like the tide. Twist 2, you can't quit. Because the moment you step out of line, they can label you infected. Quitting isn't resigning. Quitting is risk. Risk is threat. Threat becomes quarantine. And quarantine becomes a cage with paperwork. They don't need bars. They need a stamp. This job isn't dangerous because of sickness. It's dangerous because of authority. Authority that can rewrite you in one sentence. Clean becomes contaminated. Citizen becomes hazard. Guard becomes criminal. You look at the city behind you. Clean streets that stay clean because someone else is trapped outside. You look at the ship. Wet deck. Hungry faces. And you see the machine clearly now. The sick are not a crisis. They are inventory. Stored. Priced. Moved when it's profitable. You are not here to heal. You are here to enforce the price. Near the end of the shift, a new recruit arrives. Fresh cloak. Eyes are still believing this is public safety. He grips the rope like it's honor. He looks at the ship like it's the enemy. He looks at the city like it's worth protecting. Your supervisor places a hand on his shoulder. Friendly, proud, then points at the fee box. The recruit nods fast, ready to do his job. A ship passenger coughs again. Small, human, tired. The recruit flinches hard, and the doc watches the flinch. Because fear is the signal. Fear is the currency. Fear is the proof the system is working. You don't warn him. Words don't survive here. Only patterns. The rope lifts. The stump comes down. The fee box opens. And the line moves 1 inch. The recruit thinks it's progress. You know, it's a harvest. You stand at the rope. Face blank. Lantern light cold. Eyes forward. Because you've learned the final rule. Quarantine doesn't end when the sick are gone. Quarantine ends when the profit dries up. And as long as fear sells, someone will always be kept outside. Someone will always be blamed. And someone will always be standing right here, holding a rope that looks like safety and feels like a business.